What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel. Opening weekend is over for Universal's Halloween Horror Nights 32. We have some amazing tips and tricks to help you guys beat the lines and save some money while doing it. So if you're into that and you want to go to Halloween Horror Nights, save a little money, and not have to wait in those long, extensive lines, we've got some awesome tips for you, and we are getting started right now. Let's hop in.
This video will contain mature content and flashing strobe lights. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright guys, so this is the 32nd year of Halloween Horror Nights here in Orlando. Now we did get a little bit of a different event this year. We're going to get 48 nights this year. I put the dates here for you guys. It's going all the way through November 4th. You can see here the times are 6:30 p.m. till 2 a.m. on event nights. We also got 10 houses, 4 of which are mainstream IPs. We got Stranger Things Season 4, The Exorcist Believer, which is actually based on the new movie that hasn't even come out yet. We have The Last of Us, which is actually going to be based on the Sony video game. And then we have Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, which is actually based on the new TV show. So along with the 4 big IP houses, we also got 6 original Universal houses. So these houses are honestly really great, and in my opinion, a lot of times they do beat out the IP houses. So we're going to get into our pick of the best house here in just a minute. But before that, I wanted to talk about the changes in ticketing, because we've been getting a lot of questions about this, and a lot of people had some issues this year that we didn't necessarily run into in the past. So let's hop right into that. Alright guys, so on top of the single night ticket, we also got these 4, for lack of a better word, Halloween Horror Nights annual passes. So these different passes are going to get you into the event on different nights. I'll go over individually like the nights that you're going to get and kind of the breakdown on price for you. But before I get into that, I did want to note that if you look at this, you can see where they've changed the wording in here where it says get access up to the first 18 nights, or like the next one over here, you get up to 30 nights. So basically the reason they did that is because they wanted to be able to limit the amount of tickets that they sold for an individual night. So a lot of people were running into an issue during the very first nights of the event. They were trying to buy the Rush of Fear Pass, and the Rush of Fear Pass should give you access to the first 18 event nights. Now what happened with that was they ended up telling people that they were sold out for the first, second, and third. This of course is opening weekend, so obviously that is a busy weekend, so they definitely wanted to limit those cheaper ticket sales during that weekend and then kind of make you buy a single day ticket or like one of the more expensive upgraded type tickets.
Got him!
You could still buy the Rush of Fear, but you would have to pick a start date further than the 3rd, meaning that you would have this ticket, but you would not be able to go the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. So they basically just said, hey, we sold out. Now the problem with that is they didn't actually sell out, because you could still buy a single day ticket if you wanted to go to one of those nights, or you could actually go to the park and purchase these tickets actually at a kiosk there at the park. The problem with doing that is you didn't get the online price, so it was going to cost you a bit more money.
I'm rich. Hey.
But it was something that you could do. So if you are running into an issue where you want to go on a certain date and Universal is telling you that it's sold out for that date,
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
more than likely you can probably go to the park and purchase those tickets. You could also do a single day ticket and then upgrade it later if you wanted to go that route also. But Universal just made it pretty difficult this year on those passes. They kind of told you, hey, this is what you're getting, and then they kind of pulled the rug out from under a lot of people. So I know a lot of people had issues with that. All right, so let's go over these passes and let you guys know what we think was the best value here. So on the Rush of Fear Pass, you're going to get the first 18 nights. That's going to cost you $179.99. I'm leaving tax out of all these equations. I'm just going off the base price. So if you do the math on that, it's actually $9.99 per visit if you went to all 18 nights.
Oh, you can count. Good for you.
So that's a pretty good deal. $10 every time you go is not too bad. Now moving up from that, you can get into the Frequent Fear Pass. Now the regular Frequent Fear Pass is not going to include Friday or Saturday, but if you're okay with that, you can get 30 nights with that pass for $229.99, which is going to be around $7.66 per visit. Now, if you want to move from that, you get every night except for Saturday. You do end up getting the first and last Saturdays of the event, but normally, like for the actual ticket, you just don't get Saturday. Now, that is going to run you about $6.74 per night, being that you get about 40 nights with that ticket. Now, finally, we have the Mac Daddy Pass, which is the Frequent Fear Ultimate Pass. This is going to cost you $374.99, but it is going to give you access to up to 48 nights. Now, the reason, like I said, they put the up to is because depending on volume, they may not allow you to go. That's why they make you select a date when you purchase these tickets. Something to take note about the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass is that it is the only pass that offers free parking. So if you're not already an annual pass holder, this may be an option for you, as it's going to allow you to park for free, which would normally cost you $30. Now, it does say on here that parking after 5 p.m. is free, so if you're trying to get over to the park early for some reason, you may still have to pay for parking, so just be aware of that. Now, with that ticket, you're actually going to be spending around $7.80 per night if you wanted to go to all 48 event nights. Now, there are a couple options with these tickets. You can upgrade them and get Express Pass added to them. We're going to talk about that because it is outrageously expensive, I think. All right, so if you wanted to add the Express Pass to the Frequent Fear Plus Pass, it's going to jump the price from $269.99 all the way up to $699.99 per person. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but with Express Pass costing somewhere in the neighborhood of around $150 on average, all the way up to close to $200, that could save you a lot of money if you plan on going to this event a lot and going through the houses a lot. Now, if you don't plan on going a lot, this is an exorbitant amount of money for a few amount of days. Now, moving on from that, if you want the Mac Daddy Pass, being able to go through Express Pass whenever you want, it's going to run you $919.99 per person. So
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
almost $1,000. We're talking Disney prices here, people. So very, very expensive. Now, like I said, you do get 48 nights for that. So if you plan on going a lot, if you're going to go to all 48 nights and you want Express Pass, this is definitely worth it because, like I said, Express Pass being around, let's say, averagely 150 to 160 bucks per night, this could save you some serious coin if you plan on going and you really want those Express Passes. So keep that in mind when you guys are looking at these tickets. They have a bunch of different options for you guys. Now, what if you don't want to buy Express Pass, but you still want to experience all 10 houses? Well, this is where this video is going to save you some money. So we're going to show you a way that you can do all 10 houses in a night without Express Pass. And we actually think this might be a better option than buying Express, since Express is kind of a lot of money. So I'm talking about an option called the Stay and Scream ticket. So what this ticket is going to do is it's going to allow you to enter the park at 3 p.m. And then while they're getting all of the day guests out by 5 p.m., they're going to put you in like a corral area, basically, until they clear the park of all day guests. Now, one thing that does is it puts you further ahead of all the people that are standing there waiting for the main gates to open at the very front of the park. But another thing that it also does is they open up some of the houses a little bit early, and they actually let you go through them around 5 p.m. So when we did this on opening weekend, we were able to hit 3 houses in the first hour. So from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock, basically getting 3 of the major time-consuming houses done in less than an hour, and before regular guests had a chance to get in there and clog up the lines. So this is definitely a win for you if you're looking to do the houses without paying for that Express Pass. So there are a few tips that you do need to know if you're going to do the Stay and Scream. So we're gonna get into the map here, and I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to do to maximize the time that you have during your Stay and Scream. All right, so first of all, there are a few areas where they will put you into holding pens. The area that we're concerned with is this New York area over here. This is where you want to be to maximize your time. So this is actually going to line up over here by Starbucks, and you're going to want to get there early because the line starts to form very early, and if it gets too crowded, they will actually ask you to move to a different pen. You don't want that. So what's going to happen is they're going to move you into this area right here along the streets of New York, and then you're going to have to choose. So the way they do this is they'll start breaking up the line into which houses people want to go into. So in our opinion, and what's worked for us, is we hit the houses in a specific order, and that seems to be doing a very good job as we were able to get through all the houses without too many issues. So right at 5 o'clock, as they start breaking up the lines and moving you over to the different houses, you're going to want to go to C, which is actually Stranger Things. Now, the Stranger Things house entrance is right over by Jimmy Fallon, which is notated here on C. B is going to be that like stadium grassy area, just to give you guys kind of a relatively idea of where we're at. Now, a lot of you would probably think, hey, why don't I hit B, which is actually The Exorcist, which seems to be a very, very popular house. And you could do that, but the problem with that is they've been opening The Exorcist a little bit later than the other houses. So if you line up for that house, you're not really maximizing your time. So for that reason, we think Stranger Things is a better option here. So after you get through Stranger Things, we recommend heading over to D, which is Dueling Dragons. And then after Dueling Dragons, it's going to be probably around 5:30. At that point, The Exorcist should be open. So I would head over to B and hit The Exorcist. Now, depending on what time it is when you get out of The Exorcist, you can either try to hit E, which is Yeti, but in my opinion, the best option here is be prior to 6 o'clock, getting over to the other side of the park before the main guests have an opportunity to get over there. So you're going to want to head over to I, which is going to be The Last of Us, which is going to be another very, very popular house. So if you can get over there before 6, that puts you in a really good position to hit most of the very high wait time houses prior to the 6 o'clock guest actually getting into the park. Now, obviously, this is why we think the Stay and Scream is such a great value, because as you can see, pretty much knocked out 4 of the biggest wait time houses in less than an hour, all prior to the park being super crowded. It's definitely worth the $40, so if it was me and I didn't want to pay for Express, I would definitely consider doing that Stay and Scream. Now, at this point, you're essentially going to be chasing the wait times, basically heading to the houses with the lowest wait times kind of as the night goes on. Now, do be aware that somewhere around like the 11 to midnight range, it really starts to die off, and you can really pound out a lot of those houses later in the evening. So definitely be patient and look for those wait times to come down. So now it's time for me to talk about what we thought about the overall event. So overall, I thought the event was actually really, really good. I feel like they were definitely lacking a little bit in the scare zones. I just felt like there was like a lot of dead area, but I do feel like in the scare zones, they stepped it up in the fog department. So in the past couple of years, they've been kind of light in the fog. So I actually kind of like to see that they stepped that up this year. Now, the houses this year, in my opinion, have stepped up a few notches from previous years. So I haven't seen great houses recently. This year, I thought the houses were actually really, really good, especially those big headline houses. They were fantastic. The attention to detail in those houses, nobody will probably ever top at any event that you'll ever go to. They are absolutely fantastic when you just look at the actual detail that goes into those houses. Now, some of the things that actually surprised me were the non-headliner houses, and they were actually fantastic. So a few notable mentions here. Blood Moon Dark Offerings was fantastic, and we also thought the Darkest Deal was a great house. So both those houses are definitely recommended. I would check them out. Now, like I said, they are not big main headline houses, but in our opinion, sometimes the original houses are better than the headliners anyway. So I'll let you guys be the judge, and you can tell me in the comments which houses you thought were the best, and kind of let me know what you guys thought of your overall experience at Halloween Horror Nights. Now, on top of the houses being pretty amazing this year, they also had a update, I guess, to their show, Nightmare Fuel. Now, if you've never seen Nightmare Fuel, you're definitely missing out, because this is one of the best shows that I've ever seen at a Halloween event. Now, this year we did get a pretty big update. It's basically the same, like, you know, magical strip club pyrotechnic show that they've had in the past, but they did change it up, and it was fantastic. You definitely want to see Nightmare Fuel. Now, for us, because we're trying to run through all the houses and get through everything in one night, we did not do a bunch of the food and drink samplings. So we will be back, and we'll have another video out about all of the food and drinks at Halloween Horror Nights, because honestly, that's going to be a whole video. It's a lot of food, a lot of drinks, a lot of stuff going on at Halloween Horror Nights. We can't wait to get back. Overall, I think we had a great experience. I do think it is a pricey event, and you definitely want to go over there with some plans in mind, because you are spending a lot of money, so you definitely want to make the most of it by having a plan before you guys go. If this video has helped you in any way, definitely slam that like button for us. It really helps us out. And consider subscribing to the channel, because we do a lot of awesome videos like this, and I hope you guys will join us and help support our channel. We will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for being with us, guys.